Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. I remember to turn the exposure compensation down on the camera, so thank you, Jonathan. Should look a little less blown out, a little less overexposed right now. I honestly don't remember what we've talked about recently. My brain has been in a very different place, an unusual space for me lately. And that's a good thing, I think. I think we've talked about this idea that I have to try to shoot a short film. I know we talked about the script that I pulled out. I remember that, but I don't remember if I told you about all of that. I think I showed you my little clapper board, or my slate, as it's called, that I made to kind of help with that process. But my head has been stuck in this, I guess, in this world of this short film this idea that I have, and I don't know if have we talked about that at all? I don't think so. And I don't really want to talk about it. I mean, I'll tell you that I'm working on an idea for a very, very short, like 3-5 minute idea that I would like to try to film. The thing is, I know I told you I was embarrassed about it. I don't think I'm embarrassed anymore. I think that I have good ideas, and I have a decent understanding of what the story is supposed to be, and I have a pretty good concept of how I'm going to shoot it. But I guess I'm still a bit apprehensive about pretending to be like a director or something like that. So I've been working on this idea as something that I can do by myself with just a tripod, a couple of lights, and my camera and an audio recorder, and be able to pull this whole thing off without really needing anybody else to participate. What that means is I have to do things in a I have to make a film that I can shoot with just me, like me as the actor, me as the on-screen person, and the idea has to translate well to a single person, like one act kind of play, but the film also has to do that. And what I have in my head, there are some camera movements, there are some things I'm not going to be able to pull off by myself unless I do some trickery, like shoot in 4K and down-res it and have some fake movement and that sort of stuff. And so as I work through this concept, I don't know why I'm talking about this. Let's start over. Can we start over? Let's not start over. Let's just keep going. Let's see where this goes. As I work through this idea in my head, I'm trying really hard to keep it compact, right? I'm trying really hard to not make it turn into some gigantic project that I never finish. I'm really good at never finishing projects. This project that's sitting here that you can't see yet, you'll probably be able to see it in a couple of months. This project has been in this shop, has been shuffled around to every flat surface in this shop for the last like 4 years. And it's not a difficult project. All in, I've got maybe 4 hours into it. That's it. It's done. It's currently not done. I mean, it needs some screws put in it, but other than that, it's done. Like, finish is done. All of it's done. I just need to put the 6 screws in it that hold it together, and that's it. 4 years. And I don't want whatever it is I attempt to do, whether it's photography or videography or making a movie, making a short film, writing a book, writing a story, making a piece of furniture, I don't want it to take, I don't have that kind of time, right? At this point in my life, I need to be able to put check marks next to things and say, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. Let's move on. And who knows? Maybe, as with most things, I think that when you get in the midst of making something, in the midst of making this project, I had ideas for how to make something using these techniques, right? And I think that in the execution of trying to make this short film, for no other reason than I've always wanted to make a short film, I think there will be ideas for executions of other things. And the question becomes, do I keep pursuing that? Or do I move on to my next thing, whatever that is, painting or, more photography or writing or whatever. I don't know. But the goal right now is to get it done, like to just do it. Even if it's terrible, I think that there are so many lessons to be learned just from trying to do it, right? And I think that the problem that I get myself into when I want to create something like this is I make it out to be way more than it needs to be, because I feel so blessed by the enthusiasm for the idea. I don't want to half-ass it. I want to give it its everything it can have in that moment. And I think that for something like making a movie, even if it's just a 3-minute movie, the process of doing is way more important than the final product, right? And I think that I need to just tuck check marks under my belt before I can actually approach something with any sort of institutional knowledge about how to make a 3-minute movie. And so part of me wants to do this right. There's props that I need to make. There's shots I need to figure out. I might need to hire or find a friend to come over and play the main character. But I need to do it, and I need to make sure it's. I need to put a check mark next to it, even if it's terrible. I will have learned filming and editing and composition and all that sort of stuff on that project, and so then maybe the next one will be even better. And I think that's the goal. And so all of that is to say, I've taken a new approach to life, right? I'm taking a new stance. Making this thing, it's all sorts of wrong. First of all, it's left-handed, which most movie clappers are right-hand operated. Just left-handed operated because I'm left-handed. That's wrong, but whatever. I didn't intend it to be that way. It just accidentally happened. And it's got all sorts of flaws. But you know what? This isn't a clapboard. This isn't a slate. You know what this is? This is a sculpture. And I'm going to look at all of my creations going forward, even this 3-minute movie, as sculptures, because the thing that I have learned is that art is imperfect, and it will always be imperfect, and that's perfectly fine. So that router cabinet is a sculpture. This thing is a sculpture, flaws and all. It's part of the process, and I have to learn to embrace that. So I'm going to make a sculpture. It's going to be a motion picture sculpture. We'll see how it works out. Anyway, yeah. What do you got going on today? It's Wednesday. It's a beautiful day here. Let me know what's going on in your world. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is mendicant. It is an adjective meaning a monk who does not own property, or more broadly, anyone who asks for alms and begs to support himself. The woman who does her job for society inside the 4 walls of her home must not be considered by her husband or anyone else an economic dependent, reaching out her hands in mendicant fashion for financial help. Mary Gilson, an American economist. Mendicant. M-E-N-D-I-C-A-N-T. That's interesting. I guess a vagabond or a bum would be a mendicant. I never really heard that word used for that.